is the first time that I uploaded a video. And all I was doing was sharing my thoughts and insights that had come to me as I was doing the Come Follow Me for the week. And it was really exciting. And I thought, man, I want to do this every week. I want to share what's in my heart, and I want to share the insights that I've gained from studying. And so I got really excited about that, and my daughter helped me, and she helped me create a channel, and she did my cover for me, and it was awesome. And then, I start looking into the way you're supposed to make videos, and suddenly this became something that wasn't about me sharing what was in my heart. It became about how to make videos, and how to make videos that people would like, that people would share, and that people would subscribe to. And my sense of purpose then switched from just bearing my testimony, sharing insights, talking about what's in my heart. It all shifted over to some kind of a results-based value, which meant if people weren't sharing my videos, I would feel like I had failed. And if they didn't like them, or if they didn't comment on them, or it got to this point where I was working so hard to try to make videos that people would want to share and want to comment on and want to engage in, that it became more, I don't know what I'm trying to say. And normally this is where I would stop the video and go, you need to start over again, because that's not perfect. And I think that's what the point that I'm trying to get to right now. In his talk, he talks about the thing that when we see the sun, and it's, this big, huge, wonderful, glorious light that's in front of us, and that, if you put your finger or your thumb close enough to your eye, you can actually totally block out this wonderful sunlight. And so if I think of that prompting that I had in January 2019, if I think about that prompting, and I think about how excited I was, and I think about how much light I felt and warmth, because I felt called. I felt like the Lord was saying, hey, this is something you can do. This is how you can help gather Israel, because you can share your testimony and you can share gospel insights. So I got all excited about it. But then things like perfectionism, I need an opening. I need an opening slide. I need music. I need to be able to shift from thought to thought. I need visuals to go in there. I need an end. And then it became, you need a microphone, and you need a light. And then I started watching other people's, and wow. Then I realized how I judged the value of what I was doing based on what other people were doing. And worse than that, I would look at other people who were doing the same thing. I thought I had this all original idea. I'm going to share insights about Come Follow Me, and people are going to think this is so cool, and it's going to be awesome. Well, I wasn't the only one who had that great idea, right? So the Lord wasn't just prompting me to do this. He was prompting many people. Well, that just makes sense. Well, as I started watching some of those other videos, I'd think, well, what are they doing that's so different? And then I would start comparing myself to them. And that's something that Elder Stevenson talks about in his talk. He talks about this debilitating comparisons. And it's those things that we compare our reality to someone else's reality, and it stops us in our tracks. And so as I thought about that, I thought, well, other people are already doing the idea that I had, and they're getting a lot of likes and shares. And look at, oh my goodness, look at all the views. They've got views in the tens of thousands. And, mine are in like maybe 150, 200. And so I kind of went, oh, there's something wrong then. I'm doing it wrong. And it became more about how do I get more people to view it? And how do I get the people to view it to like it? And how do I get them to share it? And so instead of the focus being on what were the insights that I could share, and really when I started this, it was about my family. It was about a way for me to be able to share my thoughts about Come Follow Me with my kids. Because, to talk about it, the videos are too long to share, and they're not all on Marco Polo, or I could do it there. And then if I do it on YouTube, they can watch them whenever they want. And anyhow, I lost my focus. My whole vision and the whole excitement of this prompting was eclipsed by perfectionism, by the debilitating comparisons that I was doing when I would compare my channel to someone else's channel, the number of likes I had to someone else, the number of views. And then instead of being obedient to the call, I started focusing on results. Well, that's like sending a missionary out in the field and judging how well he did by the number of baptisms. And so, like, here's someone out there sowing seeds, and they're sharing the gospel, and maybe they get no baptisms. And then if they compare themselves to somebody who went to a different area and they had, 100 baptisms in 2 years, this person over here, this missionary, feels like they failed. And we know that's not true. And I hope there's not a lot of missionaries that feel that way. But I've heard people talk like that. And the reality is, are you letting your focus on results keep you from being obedient to the thing you were called to do? I was called to share what's in my heart. And whether I do that through video or through a blog or through social media or whatever medium works, when Elder Uchtdorf talked about that, he said, just share what's in your heart. Just do it. And that was confirmation to me at the time that I was on the right track. And still, that eclipse came, that big thumb got in my way. And, the reality was, you start to say, well, maybe I misread it. Maybe God really wasn't prompting me to do this. Maybe this was just an idea that I had and I got excited and then it petered out. Well, I had this thought. I was on a drive with my husband today and I wrote these thoughts down, and it's like, so just bear with me. We feel a prompting and it feels like we're being called to do something. And maybe it's something big. Maybe it's like starting an online business or starting a new career. Or perhaps it's something like write a book or write an article and submit it. Or maybe it's about starting a blog or creating a YouTube channel. Whatever it is that you feel called to do, and you feel at the time this spark, and it's like this desire, and it's a burning, and you feel like, wow, this is what I want to do. You get excited. Why then do those sparks die? Like some of them, they light up and then they fizzle out and they're gone. And does that mean that God changed his mind, that really wasn't a prompting after all? See, I don't think so. God doesn't work that way. He doesn't change his mind. He's an unchanging God. And I think many are called. And this is the part that really stuck out to me as we were driving. Many are called to do this work, but few are chosen. And why? And as I thought about the next part of that scripture, why are they not chosen? Because their hearts become so set upon the things of the world. And I went, oh my gosh, that's those debilitating comparisons. That's the going for the likes or the views or the shares. That's you were called to do a work, but maybe you're not chosen right now because your focus is in the wrong place. You have been spiritually eclipsed by the distractions of the world. And it just really struck me hard that what's the difference between those whose dreams flourish and those whose dreams seem to just fizzle and peter out? And it's like, does the passion and desire go away? No, the passion and desire are still there. It's just that the obstacles, I call them obstacles. It makes it sound like something happened to stop the progress. But those obstacles in my situation, there may be obstacles, but there's also the distraction. And I think that's the biggest obstacle that I have faced in this last year, has been the distraction of wanting to, focusing on results instead of being obedient to that call. So just to bring you up to date, and I'm gonna sign off here in just a minute because I don't want this to go too long. But I really just wanted to pop in and touch base and say I'm here. It's been a crazy, crazy year. My husband and I got sealed in the temple in June. And after that, I hurt my back and had to have back surgery. And I recently had surgery on both my wrists, which I'm still recovering from. And it's been a very interesting year. And during this time, I have really thought long and hard. What do I feel called to do? And you know what? I feel called to share the gospel. I feel called to use social media as a way that I can do that. I feel called to write my blog, to write articles, to finish my book series, to get that rebranded and republished, and to finish it. I feel called to do those things. And I know that I was prompted to do them in the beginning, and I have allowed all those distractions to become obstacles that kept my vision from being in front of me. So I'm going to ask you the question, what is eclipsing your dream right now? Because there are things that you know that you should do, or that you know that you want to do. And then there are reasons, I'll call them reasons, that you're not doing it. And I would just take a look and see, are you experiencing some kind of an eclipse that is keeping that dream from being one of your priorities? So think about that, chew on that for a while. And I am in the middle of writing a blog series on gospel grit. And if you haven't been to my webpage in a while, I hope you'll go there, melindarmorgan.com. Check out the blog, leave a comment if you'd like. And I will be back here making videos every couple of weeks, just touching base and sharing what's in my heart. What I started out doing is what I'm going to continue doing.